All right, going live. Hey everyone, welcome to Monday night's live stream. I'm here with George. Marty will be joining us shortly, but we thought we'd kick things off and see how everyone's doing. That doesn't work. There you go. My feedback. All right.
Sorry, that was an accident. I did it on accident.
All right, let's see who we have in the chat. So, we have the fingers as usual. Asher is here. Bo from Germany. Cyberg is here. Shotgun Dave. Hey guys. John Bacon's in the house. John Tucci. Slot Car Dojo. Garage Slot Cars. I like your new intro, Garage Slot Cars. Cool work. Yeah. So we're just gonna chill, wait a little bit, wait for Marty to come in. But in the meantime, we can talk about things. How was your week, George?
Good. Just busy at work. Nothing much going on. Just tuning little cars here and there. Did the little thunder slot thing. So
Yeah.
that's about
Do you have a lot of thunder slots?
Now I do. Well, I had like 3 Elvas, and I tuned only one. I left 2 in the cases, brand new still. So I was like, gosh, I gotta get to these. So that's when I pulled them out and did that little, that tune video was a little bit too much. It was, I think, I need to scale it down. At 30 minutes, probably max. Anything over 30 minutes, I think I start losing people. So next time if I do go over 30 minutes, it'll be in parts. But yeah, and then the thunder slots I have, let's see, 3, including a Mustang 4, 5, 6 altogether. So it's growing.
Yeah.
Fleet.
The fingers. Is this green hat hitting the market? I haven't put any conquest gear up on the shop. Like the dragon itself. I don't know. I should or shouldn't. I don't know. I will say though, I finished the GT40 legendary shirt, so that I will release this week. I only have 1 thunder slot. It's kind of sad. And then I have this one. And then I just bought.
Yeah. The Elva, grab an Elva if you can. They're still available. They're super fast. I mean,
yeah,
they're really. It's the fastest one on my track. I think it's under 4 seconds right now. It's blazing fast with no magnet. I mean, shit, it moves. So that's why a lot of people like those ones. And Chris goes, guess what I got arrived today? Let me guess, a thunder slot, right, Chris? You're welcome, John Tucci, on the outtake videos. I got that from, I don't know if you remember Smoking the Bandit, and at the end of the movie how they did the outtakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the guy who wrote that movie and directed was Hal Needham. So Hal Needham was a very famous stuntman. And he wrote kind of like movie protocol. He was the first one to do that. And you know how Jackie Chan was in his movie? Remember? Jackie Chan was in his movie? That's one of the, What does he do at every movie, at the end of all his movies? He does the same thing Hal Needham does, outtakes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I figured I'll do that as a joke, to put some outtakes at the end. Because when you start doing, you want things to come out nice, but it usually doesn't, and you end up screwing up. So I figured I'll just put those on there for fun. So that's why I kind of did that as a...
Yeah, I have a great outtake today. I was getting ready to prepare. I was getting ready to shoot the intro to the shootout, and I went up and said, "This is my NSR," and the head popped. I was like, I was rolling around in the box. I was like, "What is that noise?"
See, that kind of crap is hilarious because you don't, it's not scripted and it just happens. And, I've talked to Harry about it. He goes, "Yeah, I have a lot of those." He's got quite a few of them. He showed me. He's like, they're just screw ups, but they're kind of hilarious. So,
yeah,
makes it entertaining for everyody. There's
Thank
John.
you. Thank you, Sunday. I'll make sure it's nice and big. Do you want it smaller? I'm here to do whatever you want.
Chris got the sign.
John Albright says the Lola T70 is his
It's fast.
non-mag track holder. So yeah, I haven't run my this Lola yet. I have to, yeah. So lots of work to do. Running cars. Yeah.
Tuning them through, not too hard to do. So
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah. What was that? I was looking at something here. Hey, Gary's in the house.
That's Sunday slot cars.
Yeah.
Cars. Now Boone's here. Boone.
Oh,
Boone.
amazing! Boone's in the house.
Daryl agrees with the Elvis statement. Yeah, the Elvis damn fat. Daryl
Yeah.
saying, "I agree." The one I want to get is the gold one, but that was the actual one from Viva Las Vegas, the Elvis Presley one.
Right.
But those things are expensive. And it's kind of hard to get. So there was one on eBay. I should have jumped on it, and I didn't. It was gone. I went to look back. It disappeared. Somebody flat out bought it right away. So it's in high demand. So
Dan, Dan, I haven't forgotten about the 911s. I'm gonna get you the numbers. Probably after this live stream. I just look them up and send them to you. Sorry about that. Boone. Yes.
From what years?
Everybody wants Boone. Hey, Boone, why didn't you jump on the live stream?
Boone.
Come on,
I
Boone.
say that because there's a mountains up in the mountains. There's a town called Boone in North Carolina, and there's a driver used to say that. I'm going to Boone. So whenever I see Boone, I say Boone. There's Slot Journal. What's up, Slot Journal?
Hey, Slot Journal. Let's see if I can. Give me 1 second. I'll see if I can copy this.
I'll try, he said. Oh, you should be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the link. Yeah.
Hook up to an iPhone just fine.
Yeah.
Sean Casey, Sean, what's up,
Hey,
Sean?
Sean, what's up? I like what you did with that NSR F22. The Ferrari livery looks good on it. Good job.
I might check it out. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
What livery was it that he put on there?
He printed all the water slide decals for the Ferrari. Like it was the red NSR F22, the new one.
Oh, yeah.
And they put all. There you go. June's in.
Cool.
Hey, Boone. Let's see. Assign is 3. Let's go 2, 3.
It's double of me.
It's double of you. Can't have that. Let's put Boone in the house.
Hi. You think you're hard at work too?
Oh, I just got off work. Let me turn off the laptop. There we go.
Yeah. Let me change your name. You're not Rob.
No,
How you been, Boone?
busy.
Yeah.
Good thing.
A little warm.
How's the heat in Texas?
It's been really nice.
You're cutting in and out a bit.
Can you get warmer?
Not that. How's that?
I think it's better.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't. All right.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. Are you working on the table? You have your bandana on. Every time I see you with the bandana, you're doing something crazy on the table.
Well, I've actually got to do some filming tonight, so it's
bandana time. That's good. That's good. Let's see. So what are you working on now, Boone? You finished the big mountain. You've reached the peak, the climax of the mountain. It's over. What's next? Now you gotta build. Now you gotta build the biggest valley. You know, you can't have a mountain without a valley now.
That's true. That's true. I don't know. Area and
yeah.
But we're not. I'm not gonna do that right now.
Yeah.
I need to take a break for a while.
Yeah. Something wrong with your mic, I think. You cut in and out all the time. Yeah. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's peaking. Maybe it's too loud. It's peaking and it's clipping.
Could be. I'll turn it down.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I think it was just
better?
clipping. It was clipping. That's why it was cutting out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Let's see. Dan Wiley. Then you got Charlie Birch is in the house.
Gary Dunmore.
Yeah. Everyone's filtering in. We're waiting on Marty a bit, and then we'll get into it. But in the meantime, we'll talk about slot cars. We gotta keep it on slot cars, okay, people? Gotta keep it on slot cars.
We'll go over a little bit of what we went through and then trash it. And move on. What shit going on? Like,
yeah. I don't know. Well,
So,
you know, yeah. I'd say like a lot of my crew were very impetuous. They wanted to respond, but I refused to let them. I was like, just stay out of it. Yeah. Content warning. The fingers. I gotta put that up. Why not?
So what is
I don't know. You're still clipping. I don't know what's wrong, Boone. Come on, Boone. We gotta get your mic fixed or something. It's funny because we'll hear you for a bit and then you'll fade out and then come back in.
Let's see. Let me check something. Still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, but you're not showing on camera.
Yeah, I'm checking it real quick.
No problems. Talk about girls. Oh, that's gonna be a hard one. So anyway, let's see. Did I miss something? I don't know what he missed. Did he miss anything? I don't think you missed anything. YouTube trolls.
Yeah.
Daryl's in the house.
He's just one troll, but a big troll. Trolling for free stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, Boone, I gotta show you something probably later. I got 3D printed tiles for the floors now. I'll show them to you. It's pretty crazy. My friend showed up yesterday with a whole bunch of 3D printed plates for the base of one part of the mat. I was like, whoa, it's a lot of tile he brought. So pretty cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, now that I own, here we go. Marty's in the house. There we go.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Marty?
All right. I guess we're all here. And Boone's in the house too, Marty.
Yes, sir.
Let's see that. That's awesome. Hey, Boone.
Hey.
Kirby Rhodes in the house. There we go. Got here before your brother, Dusty. That's true. You got here before Dusty. Has anyone tried the NSR suspension kits? I have 6 of them, but I have not put them on yet. But it is something that I'm going
I
to
could
work
give
on.
you some advice on that. So, for a wood track that's smooth, I wouldn't really use them. If you
Yeah.
have like track has elevations, like mine has it a little bit, that would help damper. But in reality, I mean, you could put them on. You have to experiment with it and see what works for you. But
Yeah.
in the long run, it's really made for like really bumpy ass track. But I mean, you have to experiment.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I did with mine. I have a couple of them too. There's soft, hard, and medium.
yeah.
So take a pick.
Yeah, the same thing. I got the different I got the soft, hard, and medium as well. I got 2 kits of each. But once again, like for me, it's mainly about testing and seeing what works. I've never tried it, so why not?
I would.
Yeah. So I'm gonna mess around with that later. But right now, like my focus is just on Carrera tuning right now. So really just take the Carrera all the way and one car. Just work on it and take it all the way. Until I feel that I've done what I need right to it. So anyway, Marty, we're catching up. How's your week?
My week's good. It was good.
Yeah.
I got my butt kicked over the weekend doing some slot car racing, but it was a blast. Night racing is hard, fellas. It's hard.
Keep an eye on your
I got. It's just so hard to focus on my car, and they all look the same once it got far away. And
Yeah.
I was lost. I was like, I have no idea which car is mine. I'm just guessing at the turn. Oh, mine's the one that went off the turn.
I have a solution for you. You should put your two-line clock car sign and put lights on it.
So, so actually, it was hard. It was a lot of fun though, and the guys were great. And, a lot of laughs, and just it wasn't anything too crazy serious. There were a couple guys that were kind of serious, but they got their butt kicks too. So, but I broke the car, and we were down like 17 minutes of no track time trying to fix it in the dark. And but I will tell you that once the car was fixed, Josh, I actually my last heat I ran halfway decent. And I was starting to get the hang of it. I just didn't get enough practice. But Josh, he killed it in the last heat. He was 7 laps ahead of the field, closest person to him by the time done. Which over 15 minutes, that was a lot. He was screaming and had fast laps. So the car was definitely quick. Greg. I've not met him, but he allowed me to race his car. I was filling in for him. He can build a very, very fast car, and I was impressed. But yeah, no. But outside of that, it's been good. Things have been busy, but that's all good.
That's good. That's good. And Boone's busy with his track layout. That's what we know so far. But Boone, do you do any racing? Do you actually race slot cars a lot, or do you belong to any clubs? Or
No. Actually, when I was up in Washington, the tracks were so far away, I never got a chance to even get down there to check them out.
Okay.
There are a few up in Dallas that I've heard about, and there's like one down in San Antonio, stuff like that. So there's more of a slot car community here than there was, at least, public track.
Right.
So,
not a club one like that.
Yeah, hopefully. I've had a couple. Need to find the time to get out there and go check it out.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool because you've got so much. Like I know, like we talk offline, and you show me so much of your collection. I just wonder, like, do you actually get to run a lot of it? Like, no. It's a lot.
And lately,
I want to see your Can-Am cars. I know you love Can-Am cars. So I love Can-Am cars too.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got got a few prototypes I'm working on too, as far as new body shapes and that type of stuff. So
All right,
Yeah.
look forward to that.
yeah,
Might need those custom made guys that have magnetic particles modeled into them. Okay.
Even that wouldn't have helped me.
Yeah, it's the paint. Some people will put that in the paint. The stuff I just don't really need it.
Yeah. You need glow in the dark paint, Marty. That's what you need. You know, like
I
the crossbow.
Yeah, when I build a car, yeah, I'm gonna put some LEDs inside so the car glows a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna play around with that, but I've got. I mean, visually, I mean, I don't have great vision. My glasses are super thick. It's probably pretty easy to tell camera, but I struggle at night, and I struggled way more than I expected. So I got an eye doctor's appointment. I'm gonna check some things out just to make sure that I'm all good. I have a family history of glaucoma.
Okay.
So my mom and my grandpa, and so my doctor is on me all the time about watching my pressures and things. So that's not an excuse. It was super hard to focus. But I've got some plans to see if I can remedy that a little bit.
Be funny if you walk in with night vision goggles.
Oh, I can give you a set if you need them. I'll bring them down for you.
Marty, yeah, trying to look at my car, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what everybody's having a problem. I see fine.
Yeah, we used to use that for airsoft a lot. So I have like, yeah.
You
Then,
have them? Oh my god, you actually have them, huh?
yeah, because we used to do night ops. We used to do 24-hour ops for airsoft. So you'd camp, and we do it in -14 weather. It was not fun, George. Yeah, but we'd camp out, and then would be in like in dead of night. People would come for us. So yeah, we had night vision goggles, but it's easy to see because if you have when you have night vision goggles, you see the green glows on them. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, infrared glasses would maybe help. I don't know, would it? I don't know if there's any. Yeah, there is some heat coming off, but then all the cars look the same. So
yeah,
yeah. Unless you got liquid cooled your car, Marty. Yeah, just put glow in the dark paint. That's it.
I'm gonna work on some things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to build my own car. I honestly think that if my car was a touch slower,
yeah,
I probably would have done a little bit better. But the problem is it was fast, and when I got next to somebody, I always got racy. It's like, oh no, that he's not passing me.
Yeah.
I did the exact opposite of what my plan was. Slow and steady was my plan, and it went out the window really fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's okay. It's normally what happens your first time out, and you get excited about racing. Some new experience, probably. That's all.
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah.
Great time.
Well, that was fun. Anybody else want to throw in what they've been up to, or should we get into tonight's topic? Because we don't have a guest today. But we do have Boone. We have one.
Boone is our guest.
Boone is our guest. Well, Boone, how about you take over guest duties tonight and tell us about yourself, Boone? Where have you come from? Let's put Boone on the spot.
Oh no, that's not.
Anyway, anybody who wants terrain, like the god of terrain is in the house. So if you have any terrain questions, now is the time. I have a lot, but I already ask them all the time. So I'll give him a reprieve today.
Well, you got more, Raul?
Yes, I do. What do you mean you
Okay.
got more? Every day I go down and I sit right next to my table and I look at it and I'm like trying to envision what it's gonna look like, because in your head you have to see it. So I'm like thinking, where am I gonna put the waterfall? How how far do these cliffs come out? And I talk it through with some of the buddies, and then I say, oh, okay. Then I draw it on the actual board. I've been drawing on the pencil on the board, trying to rough in how far the cliffs will come out, and then understanding how tall they are. Yeah, so yeah, every day it's like, because when I go down the basement, the first thing I do is go look at the track and say, how much work do I have left? It's rough. But yeah, and then when I get stressed out, like I said to George, I go to my painting table, pick up a figure, and start painting so I can get rid of it. And then I look at what other things I want to do. But that's my process these days. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my morning ritual. I grab a cup of coffee at 2 a.m. and come out to the garage and sit there and drink and look at the table trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah. I think when you got a big project, it just consumes you. I think that's what's happening right now with me. Greg Hazel says my wife wants night vision goggles. All right.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, me too. Dusty didn't meet up with you, George. That's.
Oh, yeah,
here we go. Lots of fans for you, Boone. Let's see. Maybe a beeper, Marty. Oh, beeper. Yeah.
How's that?
I don't know how that's gonna help you, but sure. Yeah.
You gotta like the insurance cars do, where the numbers like are lit up.
Yeah.
On the side, like on Le Mans, they have a light on the side of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I found out that the numbers change. So sometimes it's the position that they're in for those endurance races, and then sometimes it's actually like the car number. Yeah, that's cool.
We could put pace car lights on the car, Marty. That's what Dusty says.
Pace car lights.
I saw he posted that I'm blind as a bat, which he's right.
Aircraft lights, strobe lights.
Everybody wants you to put lights on the roof, Marty.
I can give you the Ecto 1 to run if you want. That'll really be stand out.
Yeah. Put everything you can, Marty. Put glow-in-the-dark paint. Put lights inside the body. Lights on the roof. And I think you should be fine.
Everybody shows up and they're like, "We thought this was a night race.
This is my Christmas tree, guys."
Coming off my car, that it's lighting the whole track.
It's the Disneyland electric light parades what it is. Doing it that way.
Yeah. Now Slot Car Dojo says neon under the chassis. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna look like one of those really cool, like Fast and Furious guys. Come on.
Yeah, that's right. Tuner car.
Yeah. Echolocation. No. Okay. All right. Now we're getting ridiculous. All right. Well, so we have this topic. It's what is it? Beyond the Land, overcoming the odds and empowering your inner creator. This was a tactical way of putting it, as opposed to what we had discussed. Yeah, let's. Marty, you want to set the tone for this, because I don't know, man. I'm still a little bit reeling. Yeah, I'll be honest.
I guess just like tackling the overcoming odds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, content creation is difficult. There's no, like, it's funny. I get the question a lot at work from people that I work with. There are some guys that I work with that kind of keep up with what's going on my channel, and then I get the occasional question from my boss. It's like, you have so many hobbies.
Yeah.
how do you have time to create this content? And that's a great question. But overcoming it's a lot of work that a lot of times people don't realize. And so I deal with it sometimes. I mean, I get messages from people who don't like what I do. And the first time that happened to me, I was like, all right, this is stupid. Why am I even doing this? Why am I wasting my time? This person and then I was like, it was one person out of, at that time, 100 people who were following me. And it was one person, and he was pretty relentless for a couple of months. And then I basically just asked him, like, what's the problem? And, and then I got his story, and, he was kind of lashing out just because he had a bad experience. And I was kind of taking it out on me. And as far as I know, he still follows me and still jumps in on our chats every once in a while. And his tone's changed. But, I think that when we create content, we do open ourselves up as creators. We open ourselves up to criticism. We open up ourselves to people who don't think and act like us, to make comments. And sometimes they're great comments. 99% of the time, everything is positive and encouraging, and people really support me. And then there's that 1% or less than 1% that can be very loud when it's not supportive, or they don't understand my vision of what I'm trying to do. And so I guess early on when that happened, I asked a lot of questions from a lot of people, like, Raul, you've reached out to us and said, hey, how do you deal with this? I remember reaching out to Dave Kennedy and Travis and in MP and saying, hey, I got this troll. He's relentless. He won't leave me alone. What can I do? And, they're even George was like, just delete him. Like, just delete him. I'm like, that's the easy thing. But I don't want to create a situation where it really frustrates them and then they really come after me. I just wanted to kind of get to the bottom of it and say, like, what did I say? What kind of triggered this? And those are big obstacles, because you when you get to that point, you start questioning whether the effort that it takes to create for YouTube, is it worth that effort? And that's it's a big decision. There have been multiple times in the last. I'm a year and February. I'm a year and 4 months into this trip, this journey on YouTube, and I can specifically think of 3 times that I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to make any more content because it doesn't matter. And there was always that one person that sent me usually it's George. It always comes through with a great message at the right time. Like, hey man, I like that last video. Like, and hey, here might help you with that tuning piece. And it's just enough encouragement to say, okay, let me sleep on this. Maybe this is worth it. Maybe this community is worth it because the hobby's worth it to me. So that's just a jumping point, I guess. I don't know if that's the direction you wanted to go, but a lot of things have happened over the last week. And it's really frustrating because, like, we as a group, we've become really close and really good friends. And when somebody says something that doesn't agree with any of us, like, we kind of go on attack. And so your pain and George's pain and Boone's pain and everybody, we kind of try to kind of share that. And it makes it tough. I'll be honest with you. Sunday night, I was not happy. Not happy. Like, I struggled sleeping, and it wasn't even really happening to me. But we were all dealing with it and trying to help, like Raul try to help
Yeah.
you process and deal, and I don't know.
So I'm a
I-
pretty level-headed dude, right? Like, I think I am. And anyway, I think, yeah. The problem wasn't, this is my deal. Like, people have said a lot of things to me in the past. Stop doing car reviews and all that. I listen. The reason why it shook me was because I myself had doubt coming into that point on whether taking a car out of the box and putting it on the track and doing that was actually fulfilling anything I wanted it to fulfill, because I was becoming deeper and heavily embedded into the community. In the beginning, when I was just nobody knew Raul, and I was taking cars out of the box and testing them and putting them up on my website, it didn't really matter for a long time because I wasn't chasing anything. I never have. When I started my YouTube journey, it was just I wanted to strengthen my videography and I wanted to put something out there. And that was fine. But, a year in, and all of a sudden with the live streams, and then I started to hear everybody's stories. You get all the legends like Boone and Travis, and everybody started to know me. Marty, MPME started hanging out. Yeah, George. Like, you're just like, you get deeper into the community, right? And now taking a car out of the box is not enough, right? Even myself, I was feeling it. I was feeling like, this is not enough. This is not what I want to do, right? So when some people said, you should stop doing car reviews, it did kind of make me shake, and that's why over the past little while, I haven't done car reviews, because even in myself, I was under that turmoil already coming in, right? But that's fine. I had to take a step back. I talked to you. I talked to Slot Vengers. I talked to Boone. Talked to everyone. And also another thing that happened was I had opened up this world of terrain building, and there was a cross between this hobby and a hobby that I really loved that I just quit, which was wargaming. And I was like, oh my God, there's a bridge here, right? The bridge is the terrain building, the figure painting. It was a bridge. So I was like, oh, there's something I can add value to the community, right? So that was fine. What happened on Friday is not fine, right? That was an attack. That's the way I look at it. Because this wasn't about slot cars. This wasn't about me. This wasn't about this community. This was about someone pushing his ideals on to me in a weird way. And I was like, it was an attack. And it was an attack not only on me, but on my friends, right? And that's what really got me upset. I can take it. If somebody says stop doing videos tomorrow, I take a step back, I reevaluate it, and I can come back at it, right? And then I can justify it for myself. But what happened on Friday was uncalled for. So, and that's where I kind of draw the line, right? And my friends that I have brought in to help me, and it would be if anyone attacked any one of you or any one of my close group of friends, I would react in the same way, I think, which would probably be shut down. Like, and yeah, it's the first time I've ever banned anyone, or deleted anyone or blocked anyone in my whole entire life in social media. I'll be honest. I've never done that before. So that's why Danny had to help me and show me how to do it, because I had no idea how to do that. I was like, I've never done this before. No one has come to this point with me ever, right? So that, I think, is where it gets, where things became crazy. And that's, people are asking what happened. How do I put this? Like, it's difficult for me to say because,
you want me to say it?
Yeah, you go ahead, George. You say it.
The person that has come on here, I'm not saying names because I don't want to slander somebody.
We don't want anyone names.
The person actually wrote a personal message to Raul and then made a personal message to John Albright, I think it was. Then made a personal message to Boone. and send somebody else a personal message. So it's like he went after each of the people that we know to, how would you say, slander, and it really was for no reason. And really, it's really childish. So, and it gets kind of weird and scary because, if you had sent this person something and they have your address, would you want that person coming over your house? No. I have a lot of weapons in my house, so they'd be greeted by something if they do that. You
Yeah.
have to just, that's what worries me the most is, my wife being here and some weirdo like that coming up to the door. So it gets a little bit unsettling. So I understand that. But here's the thing that I give when people make negative remarks on channels or something is, excuse my language, fuck's given. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If you want to do something better, make your own channel. Otherwise, get the hell out. And who cares what the hell anybody says? And I get those comments sometimes with the way I speak, saying certain words. I just delete it. It's like, okay, dude. Well, my English ain't that great, but at least I could do a video and everything, and you can't. So, and you get little comments like that. I've got them over the past, but you really have to, like I told Marty, delete it and move on. Who gives a shit? You have to have that attitude. You have to have a thick skin because you're out, actually in the public, and you're going through all that. And the places that I worked at, I've learned how to really get a tough skin because I worked at a factory for 20 years, a paint factory. That was really wild. I worked at a lot of automotive places, a lot of tire shops. I've seen a lot of stuff and a lot of things happen. So, and a lot of trash talk. That was one thing I was good at. When people would trash talk, I'll trash talk back. I have no problem doing that. And I could get real personal to piss them off. And that was my goal. So they wouldn't do it again. Just like you're pounding a bully back and keeping them off you. So it's best always to just turn off, that kind of stuff and delete it and just let it go. But again, like I said, that really got really weird because it went directly to that person. It wasn't a comment. It was an actual message. That's where it gets a little bit overboard right there. This particular person was really harassing me in a way about over a certain thing that I was going to send them. And he kept making comments, wish he would send it or where is it? And what happened was that made me not want to send it more because I'm giving something away. I'm not asking for money. And I just asked for your patience so I could do other things and I'll send it to you. And he kept going on and on. At that point, I was like, well, I don't feel like sending crap now because you're just annoying the hell out of me. That just turns me into a donkey. And I just start digging in my heels and even more into the dirt to not wanting to do it. So it's really sucks that you have to run into that kind of stuff. But the best way to do is just delete it, ignore it, and move on to your other stuff and make great content. Who cares?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, and listen, I'm not saying that he was going to shake me off YouTube. That wasn't going to happen, right? Because, okay, what I had to do, I took a step back, right? I think my video that I released on Saturday was, in a way, my response. Because I took a step back and I said to myself, one thing that allowed me to be shaken this time was I didn't have a very clear goal of what I wanted this year from YouTube, right? The first year, I was very clear. Nobody could have shaken me on the first year because I knew I had to do 52 videos. I'm a goal-oriented person, so I knew 52 videos. They're all going to be cars. That was it. Because it was my first year. That's all I knew. Nobody was around. I didn't know anyone. Like, who cared, right? This year, because I had got into the community, the live streams had just started. I was like, okay, I'll commit to one live stream a week. That was it. And my own content was shaky because I wasn't sure. I wasn't committed to anything. So what happened Friday just, really woke me up. And I said to myself, okay, well, the only reason I'm getting shaken around here by everyone is the fact that I don't have my own goals for this year, right? What do I want from my channel? What do I want to put out there? What can I do? And that's when I listed down everything I wanted to do, and I made that video. And I was really happy that I did that. It kind of just cleaned everything up for myself, and I was able to get past it. I'm past it already. I don't really care. Like, this discussion that we're having is, it's not really, I don't know. I think it's just that it's good to hear about these things happening, because if you are going to start off a YouTube journey, and I never thought that this would happen in my channel, which is very small, but it did. And I was kind of shocked at it. And yeah, you just, you deal with it. And the good thing about this is, if it wasn't for the support group that I had behind me, the Boons, George, Marty, Slot Vengers, I have to say, Slot Vengers is something that's become so near and dear to my heart. I cannot stress how important those guys are to me. And a lot of you, like, yeah, it's been amazing, right? So, yeah, I think you learn to deal with it. But you have to understand. So if there's one thing I'll say, if you are starting a YouTube journey, remember that this channel is your own. It doesn't belong to anyone else.
That's
right? That's the one thing I'll say to everyone. And this is just because we talk about beyond the lens, we talk about press and record. Don't be afraid. Like, record what you want to record about your journey in this hobby, I think. And I think that's the most important thing you can take away. And be clear with what you want to accomplish, I think. And that's really helps me. So having done that, I'm very clear with what I want to do for the rest of the year. And no matter what happens now, no matter who comes up, no matter who gives me any flack, they can take it somewhere else, because I know exactly what I want to do this year. So that's been said and done. Yeah. Anyway, there we go.
Well, trolls are going to happen. The bigger you are and stuff like that, the more people you're going to attract into your channel and whatnot. I mean, even with scenery, I've attracted in guys that see that I do something and then just start. I mean, they'll just come right in at the throat and try to take you out. And the thing is that A, we're all human. B, you're putting yourself out in front of everyone that's out there. Okay. So as soon as you do that, you put a big bullseye on yourself. Some people just get a kick out of just trying to make someone else's life as miserable as theirs, so they're going to come after you. And the big thing is just to realize that that crap happens. So what you do is, like, you hit the delete button or whatever, and you just move on. You know, I had one where I actually had to go as far as legal with certain things, because it started to go way too far,
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. I mean, even though we're just four normal guys, on the other aspect of it, you're in front of how many thousands of different people, and some people take issue with that, so they see you as a target and they come after you. But it happens. There's no way around that. It happens. Big thing is just to realize, if you are starting a channel or anything else, as you grow, shit happens. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
No other. It's just, everyone's got a, yeah.
Yeah. And now this is the thing, like, my daughter is in YouTube, right? She started her own channel. She's doing it her way. It's really funny. The Fingers and I were having a conversation, and I said, this is my legacy. When I go, my daughter still has these videos. They'll always be there for her. It's like my leave behind. That's what and it's weird to think like that, but I did think like that. And sometimes I so when I write those videos, I would love to be harsh and come out and attack, but I don't, because I never wanted to see that side of, like, I never wanted to remember me that way ever. So I also have that weighing on me when I do these videos too. So anyway, weird.
Tain, it's fun to poke fun at yourself. That's on the Thunderslot video. That's what I did, was
Yeah.
poke fun at myself. Because you got to have fun. Because you know what? There's the end part of that video. Those are all the screw-ups, man. And I did that and I talked to Raul early and Harry, and I told him I did that because I don't know if you guys remember Smoking the Bandit. Hal Needham, the director, who also was the stuntman, was the first one to ever put outtakes of movies at the end.
Right.
And he did it in Cannonball Run, and Jackie Chan, which was his first movie, he does that also because of Hal Needham. So I figured, it'd be kind of interesting to just put the mistakes when you're trying to say, hey, welcome to Area 51 Race, and then you just screw everything up. It's funny. So that's why I did that. So it's a way of poking fun at yourself once in a while to do that and just show that you're only human like everybody else, man. That's all it is. We're all human. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like the guy's giving me a hard time about the race this past weekend. That is awesome for me, because it's the type of family that I grew up in. If you couldn't take some ribbing, you couldn't take getting teased a little bit, and so like I have thick skin for that stuff. And and like if you give me a hard time about something out of fun, like you're in like Flint, like it's like you're now in my circle because I love that. That's when like my grandpa was the master at it, and I always told my friends when they were around, and my grandpa gives you a hard time, it means he likes you. And so like take it as a compliment. He might harass you a little bit and tease you, make fun of you especially if you do something stupid in front of him. But if you should be worried if he doesn't say anything, if he doesn't tease you, right? And so when that happens in the chat, like I kind of eat that up because it just means like we're friends. Like this is what friends do. They kind of poke fun at each other. And like that's what I loved about George's video. Like I sent him a message. I'm like, dude, I love the video because I've recorded like a handful of outtakes and I never post them because I'm like, yeah, people will think that's stupid. I'm not going to post those. And then I loved that George posted his. I'm like, dang it. I knew I should have done that.
Dusty, if you make a video, you better start a YouTube channel, buddy. He's like, if I make a YouTube video, it would be all bloopers. Come on, Dusty, want to see all your bloopers?
Yeah, along to film.
Yeah. Press record, Justy. Press record.
Yeah, that's funny. I can't even get him to come on my own live stream, except for playing on the track in the background.
Yeah, I know. I harass him a lot about that, but he won't even do it. Even personally messaging him, I've been harassing him, but he won't do it. You should just put like a little string of a bourbon bottle and just follow him in. Here, Dusty, come here. Run to the camera to get him to come over.
So it's Bo's birthday, everyone. So say happy birthday to Bo.
Happy birthday, Bo.
Yeah,
Birthday.
yeah. It's Slot R's. It's Dave's birthday
It's
too.
Dave's birthday too, but Dave's not here, so he's out
Yeah, I
having
didn't see
fun
him.
with
I was looking for
Mrs.
him.
Slot R. So
He's trying to recover from the UK Slot Festival.
yeah.
He's probably sleeping.
Yeah, he was there with Travis. He has a picture with Travis at the UK festival.
I think he met up with Travis and Pete.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's a shame that we don't have something like that here in the States. I mean, I understand why, because we're so spread out, but man, I feel like we're missing such an opportunity to have a gathering place.
Honestly, I don't know what big slot car show is there in the United States, to be honest. I mean, New York Toy Fair. What is there?
Maybe.
I don't know, to be honest. All you see is small things.
Yeah, that's the same as mine. Like, I don't know if you get this, but if you watch my Sunday night live streams with Hobby Time, I try and play it pretty calm because if you ever watch Simon and I, we can get real crash real fast. So I'm always on my best behavior on Sundays because if people actually knew my side, it'd be a bit wild. Yeah.
You're always correcting Sulk. You're always like, now.
Yeah, I got to.
Here we go.
You don't understand it because once he goes off, okay, I'll give you an example. So, Sulk and Bug, they've been banned from enough online gaming servers. Like literally, lifetime bans have occurred for those guys. Like lifetime bans. That means they can take it to a level that we don't want them to go. So I always have to be like, okay, that's enough. Let's change topic. Let's calm down. But yeah, that's what will happen. So yeah, it's hard to be yourself sometimes. I'll be honest. I am very politically correct on YouTube. I try and make sure, but yeah, it's sometimes difficult when you're amongst your friends, especially when you're talking, like in the hobby live streams. Yeah, they can get. I'm always afraid it's gonna go off. But and then Slackout Wildman and them don't make it any easier with those towel girls and stuff. So it's like crazy. Anyway,
That's great.
yeah, towel
Nice.
girls.
You know, it was all reserved and everything else. But as the videos went on, the more it's like, just let your hair down and have fun. You know, we're supposed to,
Yeah.
and then that way also people get to know the real you. You know,
Yeah,
my first couple videos, it's kind of funny. You know, you'd swear I had a buttoned up shirt all the way up here, and I'm like, well, here we're gonna make something. You know. Today it's like, you know, whatever, you know, we'll just do what we can, you know. But yeah, just have fun with it. You got to roll with it, because you got to make, yeah, it's got to be entertaining, you know. And if you're up there all reserved and everything else, it doesn't look like it's that much fun. But if you're up there laughing at yourself and whatnot, then, you know, yeah.
yeah. No, I mean, like Sunday Slavka says, I'm not politically correct, and he's on YouTube, and that's with Amanda censoring me. So I feel the same way about me and Simon. I'm the one censoring Simon. He would love to go off. Yeah, yeah, he's a funny guy. When he wants to get going, he can get going. Pretty cool.
Simon works in the mechanical industry like I do. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, trust me, when you're in the shop, I'm in the, like, you know, tractor trailer shop. He's in the automotive. It's all the same. There's no really some of the crap that I've seen. You know, it's in the shop. It's just shop jargon and talk. It's how it is. So I can understand what he.
Yeah, he's like every time Simon comes on, he's like, if I start to talk, you're gonna get canceled. I was like, yeah, okay. Just keep it. You don't have to be politically correct. Just keep it clean. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, I mean, like, I don't know if we've addressed this topic, but one thing. Okay, so this is the takeaways that I think is: be true to yourself, understand what you're here to do, make sure that you have a plan for why you started this channel and what you want to accomplish. I think that's important, and go out and do it, right? And stay true to that path, no matter what, and evaluate after you've completed your goal, and then look back and evaluate it, and then move on. But if you don't have that, you can be rocked, like, you know, I felt rocked for a bit. But we're back, we're happy, we're excited. Time to buy more cars.
Get back to slot cars now. Now we got that all.
Yeah, please.
Let's start talking. Boom, let's see the Can-Am, some of your stuff, man. I'm curious. See what you got.
Yeah.
Or is it all somewhere? I don't know, man. Sorry.
What do you want to see? There's like 40 of them.
Nice.
Cool. Show man.
That's fantastic.
I got that one. No, I don't got that one. Oh, I got that one, but I don't got that one.
Well, I have something that raced in. I didn't even know it raced in a Can-Am race, right? But
let's check it out.
what this is.
Really, that did?
This race at Watkins Glen, the last race it ever did with Penske was at Watkins Glen in the Can-Am.
Oh, wow.
And
that's
it started
history.
Cool. It started out its life in Can-Am. It was campaigned by two guys in the United States. It was actually driven by Bob Bondurant, and they raced it in 3 different races in the 1970 season.
Oh, crap. So I actually got a Ferrari. I had no idea. So now we could race with Can-Am cars. It'd be correct.
Well, yeah. I mean, Can-Am, the rules, it was pretty much 2. You know, it had to have 2 seats, and it had to have covered wheels. It couldn't be open wheel.
Gotcha.
And then
All right.
everything else, a no holds bar until, they started out the wings and movable downforce and stuff like that. But, and it's kind of funny. Okay, I'll get on a Can-Am tangent for a sec. But, everyone says that the 91730 is what killed Can-Am. No, rules killed Can-Am. Because when Can-Am first came in, there was no rules. It was pretty much 2 rules, and you could do whatever you wanted to do. And the innovations that came out of Can-Am are unbelievable. I mean, that's where we get ground effect. That's where we get the wings. That's where we get all sorts of different stuff. And then it wasn't until later on they started to regulate it, and understandably so, because the cars were going so fast that the technology as far as suspension and stuff was really starting to get dangerous, and they had to slow them down. The problem is the guys still found ways to get around that and still go just as fast. But I mean, it's like the 91730. They really don't know how fast that car can go. Mark Donahue makes comments about that he could go from one corner to the next corner and break the tires loose all the way through the straightaway and everything else to the next corner.
Damn.
He never got the full, power out of the car because they couldn't get the power to the ground. It was just powerful.
And they were running 1,000 horsepower. I mean, that was unthinkable.
Some of them. I mean, the 91730, I think, was upwards of 12 to 1,400 horsepower.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that's Drakester horsepower.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
And a car that's very light too. They're super light.
Super light. The problem, like when my father raced Group 7 and stuff, the big problem is that you sat down pretty much in a coffin, because you sat down between 2 fuel cells that went the full distance of the car. So on the sides of the car, down here where the pods where the fuel was stored, because it would balance the car. Right. The problem was it didn't have the fire suppressant or anything else that we do today. So if the car took a big enough hit, it was just a fireball. That's
so
where fire.
Self-sealing fuel tanks, because that would be too heavy, wouldn't it? That weigh it down.
They would weigh it down, and they had to hold all. Yeah, they had to hold all the fuel for the race, because if the cars were going so fast around the track, if they pitted, they'd lose the race. So they had to put all the fuel that they possibly could to finish the race in the car.
That makes sense. There was self-sealing fuel tanks since World War II, because the Americans used it on the Navy planes, and that was one thing, not to get off topic here, why Japanese planes went up in flames, because they had no self-sealing fuel tanks. Right. It was a rubber bladder, and it would shrink, and it's what the vapor is what would ignite, not the fuel itself. You have an empty gas tank, it's more dangerous than a full gas tank. So, gotcha.
They'd run such high octane that you could take the fuel. You can take the fuel, drop it on the ground, and it will explode.
Wow. Damn.
So, I mean, didn't they make a lot? Doesn't Can-Am responsible for like all the new downforce stuff that's come into play? Because they were so light, they had to start playing with downforce.
That's where the big wings started on Can-Am and then went to Grand Prix. So they started with Can-Am. In fact, the Can-Am cars at the time were faster than the Grand Prix cars. F1 was getting upset because their prize drivers were wanting to come to Can-Am because they can make more money in the States running Can-Am races than they could in Europe running Formula One races. And that was the other thing. That's why you saw all the biggest names running the Can-Am cars, is because it had the biggest purse. I mean, they were putting the money out, and the drivers were coming over. So,
wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I love this class.
Boone, do you have a picture of the car your dad drove and stuff?
I do. It's on my phone, and I'm actually filming on the phone. So.
You can post that sometime. I'd like to check it out, because
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably nice you have that. I mean, anybody.
So what year
that's
would that have been?
What's that?
What year would that have been? Was he racing?
He was racing in club racing with Group 7. So he was running the A Sports Racer in the early 70s. So between 70 to, I think till 74, he ran the car.
That's really cool.
First, the last one is the only one that's still in existence. The other two were destroyed. So
I had posted a video on. It was in Long Beach. It was a while ago. I don't know how long ago. It was like a Can-Am reenactment race, and they actually raced the cars. I don't know if you saw it. That's pretty cool. They had two Shadows. They had Lolas, McLarens. It was really cool the way the guy says these are like multi-million-dollar cars. So it's like pass nicely, you don't pass aggressively because you don't want to wreck one of those. That'd be shitting a brick if I knew I owned one of those cars and was running around out there racing. You know.
Well, they'll put the cars out there, and they might have a good sized grid, but you can't take the racer out of the car, right?
Right.
So the first few are actually trying to run the cars hard. The other ones are out there just enjoying it. But you'll have a group of maybe 3, maybe 4 guys that are actually trying to drive the car, hard. And that gets interesting sometimes because they're a handful. But okay, I'll get some cars.
All right.
All about, man, slot cars. Can-Am cars.
It's becoming my favorite class. Like, I love the McLarens, the Elvas, the Thunder Slots. I think Thunder Slot is doing a great job keeping Can-Am alive in slot cars.
Because I think the only one that did, not to interrupt, the one that was doing it for a while was, well, not a while, but for back then was Carrera, and then it kind of like monogram. The chassis weren't great. I got a couple of monograms, but it's good that, like you said, Marty, they're coming out with Thunder Slot and all those guys are doing that.
Yeah, I love the fact that they're coming back out. I mean, there's some cars that we haven't seen, right? Like the Toyota 7. I mentioned that in a comment today. I was just reading about Can-Am. I didn't know that car existed.
Yeah, that was Tokyo owned car though. They were doing the Tokyo Can-Am series in '68 or '60.
Yeah.
So there are over there that no one, over in the States really even saw.
Right.
There's some.
That blue one says Fuji on it, so that was from the Fuji race. The Revson one that's out. It says right there Fuji something, I forget. So I knew it was in Japan they raced in.
Yeah. So these ones that I made.
That's nice.
Here's this guy, and actually
cool.
this was a humbucker that I went ahead and split down the center and widened and did everything else, but I also made it that it has a full interior.
That's cool. You can see through it like that. That's pretty neat.
So yeah, there's that, and then the old Ferrari.
Very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they eventually discovered that they didn't have to have the wings so high, right, to get the same amount of downforce?
They discovered that they had to get rid of the wings because the sanction onto it. The wings were creating tremendous downforce. The problem is that Formula One decided to use the big wings, and the wings were busting off and causing the car then to lose total grip. And since these cars were going a lot faster than what Formula One was, they're like, no, we're getting rid of the wings, Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, you don't want to grip 220. That would be good.
That's so funny how they were so concerned about, like you said, the wings and everything, yet back then they didn't wear seatbelts. There was really no fire protection. And their whole thing was that they didn't want to wear a seatbelt because they were afraid of the fire because they'd rather chuck themselves out of the car than burn to death. So it's kind of funny how they say, well, we got to get rid of the wings, but hey, we don't need no fire safety. It's kind of weird. their
Well,
thought
the other
process.
thing, the rule is in an accident to hold your breath because the flame would come up, and if you breathe in, it would burn so hot it burned your lungs out. So they'd hold their. This,
Holy smokes!
These
but
guys are
here's
nuts.
here's a McLaren 12.
Nice.
But 12. Did that after the what was it? Luther's car, yeah. And then here's a Ferrari that I did.
I like the
And that's
scoop on that. I think it's cool.
Very cool.
all.
Those are some nice cars, man. Shoot.
Yeah, they're fun. I need to get back into it. And then this guy, I've actually had this on the track before in some of the videos.
That one's pretty.
Yeah, and it's all aluminum wing that's up on it. But yeah, there's a whole mess more that I did do the oh shoot, what car was that? The Holman Ford Can-Am.
Oh, I don't know which one that was. I know who
Right.
Holman Moody is. I can't remember
Yeah.
the car.
But here's the body for that one. And this was one that I created from scratch. But this is the resin body, and I need to go and start casting bodies again. I've got the honker right here that still needs casted.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. And this actually right here is a one of the Tokyo cars, which is this guy, and that was based off of McLaren.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's some nice bodies in there. Shoot. I mean, they make nice scratch build cars.
Yeah. A check for this guy. Let's see here. There we go. So actually has a nice stance to it if I get it all squared away onto it. But yeah, fun stuff. But there's a whole bunch of them. I've got like 20 cars sitting down next to me that I still need to finish off. But I mostly do scenery. Everybody knows me at scenery, but they don't know. I do.
You gotta throw everybody off and do a car, Boone. Just to throw everybody off and go, what the hell? He's supposed to be doing scenery, not cars.
Right? Well, the next video, I'll let a cat out of the bag.
There you go.
About this far out of the bag. The next video does include this car.
Cool.
Okay?
All right.
So,
all right.
But it's not a review. But I'll leave it at that.
All right.
But yeah, I got that. Well, shoot. Here, I'll just take you guys for a trip. How's that?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. I like that.
Place is a mess because I still haven't picked up since the mountain video. But yeah, if we go over here, I've got pretty much the wall. I don't have nearly the cars that Ruel has, but
whatever. Yeah, that. All you guys say that, and then I watched George's collection, and it was like, oh, I have only around 300 cars. And I'm like, yeah, okay, buddy.
I got what 60 or 70, so.
Oh
But,
man,
yeah,
there's some good cars up there.
Look really nice.
Yeah. But a few different cars, bunch of different thunder slots, and what's this way, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Love thunder slots; those are cool cars. And then don't know
Fantastic.
what this car is. No one knows what that one is.
No, I haven't seen that one.
That's what it is. I can't remember.
Yeah, but yeah, there's that, and I've still got some.
That's a nice pick garage.
All sorts of stuff, and then the wall of memorabilia over there. But
yeah, Boone has some crazy stuff in his garage.
The pictures too of all the those are nice that are framed. That's
yeah, the old magazines.
Yes, those
So
are really cool. Look at that.
yeah, the magazines from the early '60s and late '50s. So
That's super cool right there to have as art on your
yeah.
wall for your rack.
Well, the thing is, you don't want to open them up or anything else like that. And it's like,
Yeah,
what do I do with them? And I thought, well, I'll just frame them. They look cool on the wall.
yeah, I agree. Very cool.
Yeah, cool wall art. So, bag it. There we go.
Yeah, Richard, you should follow Boone if you want to see like some really, really, really cool stuff. Boone is the master. Everyone agrees.
That's right.
I'm just
Everyone.
getting it. 5-year-old. That's all.
Yeah, no, there we go. So yeah, I have 2 of the digital Carreras.
Yeah, 1930.
Yeah,
White one.
I lucked out with these ones because I got them out of
Well,
I didn't get them in box. I got them straight out of a set. Somebody was just
that came in an actual set of road hammers, I think it was, the white and the Lola.
Yeah.
I think road
Yeah.
hammers.
Yeah.
The set.
So I picked this up, and then I've been looking for more, but it's hard to find the Carrera digital ones.
So you should try what MP did. He went to Alley. He found a few in Alley, I think.
Yeah. I don't know how he's got a knack for finding stuff on AliExpress. I don't have the patience. I think I just go to.
I really struggled to get those cars. I got all of them. They're all behind here, and I spent a lot of time and a lot of bidding. I think the one that cost me the most was the Sunoco Porsche. That one, man, everybody was warring on that one. That one was a real hard one to get. The Sunoco Porsche. A lot of people were wanting that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good cars, cool cars, like them.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing! Thank you for sharing that, Boone.
Yeah, thanks, Boone.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, who bought new
Right.
cars? Come on, spill the beans.
New car?
Yeah, who bought new cars? Marty, did you buy anything this weekend?
I don't have any new cars.
No.
I did.
Zero new cars.
What are all those?
Actually, wait. These are fly cars that our good buddy Daryl, who's in the chat, sent home with me. Probably to try to cheer me up. But they're near impossible to tune. But this one's running really well, the Capri. But this thing, what the heck is that?
Oh, that's
Front-
the Panos.
Front engine.
You got a
front
Panos
engine.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Panos. It is. I am struggling to get that thing tuned and get it around the track halfway decent. So it's a tuning lesson. But no new cars. Although I probably will place an order tonight or tomorrow.
For what?
George has got me talked into one of those McLarens. Those things are beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah, the blue.
Oh,
The
man,
blue one.
they're nice.
What? Here, let's.
I think Boone got those too.
Yeah, Boone's got
Thunder
one. I saw
spots.
that. See,
It's so,
nice
so
blue.
nice.
Which one?
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that thing's nice.
This is a gorgeous car. You put it in the sunlight, and you're like, you can sit there and looking like, wow, damn, that's nice. It's like, and it kind of overshadows this one, the papaya one. I have this one. It's like, oh, that's cool too. But it's like this one really just. I think people are buying more of this one than they buy the other one. But I had to buy the set, so I did buy a new car. I bought a Sideways. I got a good deal on it. What is that Ferrari 512? Kind of like the long one.
Gene.
Yeah.
Gene,
that
what
one,
Sorry. I want to know what Revos Gene picked up. Come on, you gotta spill the beans. Can't just say he picked up Revos.
Yeah, cadets. He probably got a cadet, didn't he? So it's available cadets right now. Everybody's buying those. What did you get?
Yeah, I got the Momo Ferrari. I didn't buy the red one because it looked orange under the light, and I wasn't too convinced it's a Ferrari, so I didn't buy it. I only bought the silver and black one. And I did a double take on the Benetton again. I couldn't pick it up, just not for me. But I did buy the two Coke Porsches that came out from Scale Auto, and I did buy both the NSXs that came out from Scale Auto as well.
You
And
buy
I
a lot
bought
of scale.
and I bought I bought the new 917 from Carrera. No, I bought the new 917 from Carrera.
Oh,
I also
the
bought
shell, the yellow.
yeah, I got that one.
Shell.
I got a couple of cars from Carrera as well. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Sunday slot cars to fulfill my order when they come available. So, yeah. Yeah, I think I bought like 15 cars this last week. Yeah. Something like that.
It's going to catch up with you too.
Wait, I only bought one. I didn't buy 15. Come on. Not that bad.
Where's MP at? He
Yeah,
bought a bunch
well,
the last couple weeks too.
He did. He did get it. He got a box full. He showed it on his channel.
Yeah, he got a lot of he got two 124 scale, and then the all rest were 132nd. Yeah, he buys a lot from the AliExpress. He gets really good deals.
Yeah, he does. He finds some good stuff.
Yeah, I'm just impetuous. I was on Dave Kennedy's live stream. I've been waiting for the NSXs to come out, and I saw he held the NSX, and I was like, "Where did that come from?" He's like, "LEB." I went right to LEB, and I bought them right away. I was like, "I've been waiting for them." So
The Carrera one.
the Scale Autos.
The other one, yeah. Because what's his name? Joseph Skazik bought one. He bought that cat one. I saw his opening video. That thing's nice. I haven't got a Scale Auto yet. I want to get one. Looking at the chassis, but sooner or later I'll grab one. It's just taking me time.
Yeah. Well, I got the new Haribo AMG GT3 as well from Scale Auto. I like that livery a lot. I have the Porsche, the Carrera one. So I like that livery. So I got that. I forget what else I got. I got a whole bunch of cars. They're coming. I got McLaren M8D. I got another 91710 as well. So those are coming. Yeah. Just stuff for the Shadow to shoot out against. Because I really like doing these shootouts now. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Oh yeah, I bought another Porsche 911 RSR from Carrera as well. So because I didn't want to destroy the Pink Pig and Rothmans set that I had. I didn't want to take them apart, so I left them in the box, and then I got two new ones, so I can take them apart. So yeah.
You know what we ought to do? We ought to share screen and go on eBay and see what cars are. Start looking. That car's cool. You just start window shopping. The hell with it, man. I was doing that. That's how I got that car. I wasn't going to get anything. I was like, hey, that's a good deal. And it says make an offer. So I made an offer, just kind of see if he'd take the offer. And he accepted it. I was like, wow. Well, there goes my monthly. Anymore.
Yeah.
Goes fast.
So then, Wally, you bought the 911 RSR Proton. Is that the new one, the green and orange one? I have mine. Sunday Slot Cars has my order for that, so I'm waiting for that one. If it is, yeah.
Pantera cars are PG.
Yeah. I haven't run this car yet. I heard this is like a killer. Let's see if I can focus on it.
Focus.
It won't focus. I won't focus. There it goes. I don't know. This is the Black Knight, I believe. These cars are supposed to be really, really fast. But the problem with this car is I bought it from someone who was part of his collection. So I know it's already modified. So I don't know exactly what's been done to it. So I have to take it apart and have a look at it. But it's supposed to be like super fast. So I'm interested in seeing that. I know Sean Casey knows a lot about these cars. But yeah, I just got my hands on one. Black Arrows. Yeah. Yeah, so my journey of buying cars continues. And it will not stop. It will never stop. Because I think that's the biggest thing for me. It's just I love to hold new cars in my hands and yeah, experience them. It's like my thing. I just have to have them. Yeah. Yeah, John Albright says Black Arrow fast cars for sure.
Who is the Black Knight by?
Hmm?
Chris is asking who the Black Knight by. I think they just answered that question. Who's the Black Knight?
It's Black Arrow, sorry. Not Black Knight. Black Arrow. Yeah.
The Black Knight was an amazing pinball machine in the early 80s.
Really, I don't remember that one. The Black Knight. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's an amazing pinball machine.
The finger, some hole, some fondle. Yes.
Somebody was asking about what super tires fit the 917. I'm looking for that.
This is a tragedy. I bought this car, and just after I bought it, it slipped out of my hands and landed on the floor, and it shattered the chassis. It's a limited edition blacked out Huracan from Sideways, and I have to order the chassis in from Pendle Slot. But yeah, the chassis, the motor, the body mounts to the chassis are all shattered.
Sideways really made some nice cars. They had one on eBay before I bought that other one. I was looking at it too. It's a chrome Moby Dick Porsche. I mean, chromed, and it looks hella cool. Remind me of the Hot Wheels Super Chrome cars. When I saw that, I was like, oh, that really got my attention. I was like, oh man, that looks cool. Had really blind. Hey, you could probably take that on a night race. That thing should stand out pretty good. Chrome car reflecting the lights off everything else. That was really nice. When Sideways really does make some cars that I think a lot of people won't see. They really make some cool cars, some cool liveries, and designs on them. So that's why I like them a lot.
Especially the Racer line they had years ago. Those cars were unbelievable looking. Yeah. I don't know if you see, but yeah, you're gonna spend $200 for a car.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know, this is why I really like Carrera. I mean, Carrera has done a good job keeping the price of their cars reasonable. I mean, everyone, like right now, I'll be honest, like if I want to pick up a Scalectric, it's costing me over $100 Canadian. And it's an analog car. And whereas a Carrera analog car can pick up for around $60 Canadian. So why is there such a price difference? I don't know. But that's something that I have to say about Carrera. I do love Carrera cars. The new GTYs that just came out. I know I'm a big fan of the GTY car. I know lots of people find it really hard to drive, but we had such a blast driving that in a class of its own that it's going to be one of my favorite cars moving forward just from the memories that we had with that car. That's why. But I have all 7 of the liveries that came out. And there's 2 more coming out this year, so I'll look forward to those. Yeah. Front motors like the panels are difficult to tune for no magnet. They can make excellent magnet cars, however. There you go, Marty. Jim has responded to your panels situation.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right, Jim. It would definitely need a magnet. For sure.
Or
but it looks great, man. I do like it.
Get the lead out.
Pretty sweet.
Some lead nail. How's he pulling out here?
Yeah, I put my panels. You've seen this. That crazy one.
That's the one you showed us.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
got that
Yeah.
cool pink up on it.
Yeah.
Purplish one.
It's got the Xeno motion. It's got that alien.
So is the Carrera a front-mounted motor too,
Um,
or is it rear?
no, it's a rear mounted, but it's got this.
Okay.
Inline. They're all
Yeah.
inline.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
inline.
Sometimes
this
there are
one.
cars
This one
with
is.
front motors.
It's
this
front
is
mounted.
front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is not. Yeah. Yeah, I have so many cars, like the Carrera cars that the limited edition ones, that I haven't reviewed either. Just sit there, but that's okay. What a wicked car. Yeah. So, Bo was saying this. You need to tune the Carrera cars because axles and rims are mostly unconcentric, and that's yeah. So that's something that I will be doing. I'm going to be tuning, but I'm going to be tuning mostly Carrera cars, because I feel that if I want my channel to be more about the beginner tuner. So I think Carrera tuning is the way to go. What are you guys like?
Are you just planning to replace the axle and the bushings and the wheels and all that, or?
Well, I'm doing 3 different Porsches, 3 different ways. So the first Porsche, all 3 of them are getting the Piranha motor. So the plug and play motor from Piranha. And then from there, one of them, I'm just going to put in the Paul gauge tires. I'm going to measure the outside diameter, true them down to a certain size that fits that all of them will be at. The first car will just have the Paul gauge tires on it, and we'll get that as a benchmark with the most simple tune, which is a standardized motor and a Paul gauge tire. The reason why I'm putting in a brand new motor into all 3 cars is because I want to have them at as close together as possible, because the one thing I know about Carrera cars is that the motors can come in broken in different ways, and I wanted to have a little bit more standardization than just running them stock out of the box. What do you guys think about that anyway?
What motor are you going with on the Predator? 18,000, 22,500, the ball bearing motor. There's a couple different ones.
That's the one. Let's see.
Oh, I was thinking
21.5.
The Piranha. Okay. You know, it's a real good motor, and I've been doing it with Frank's NASCAR. And I didn't replace no bushings or nothing.
Yeah.
I replaced the motor with the 22,500. They call it the Jolly Rancher motor. It's got a green end bell. It's a ball bearing motor. And what's nice about it is that it doesn't really have a lot of brake, so you could roll out of corners,
right,
and work the trigger, because the ball bearings, are a lot more rolling, less rolling resistance. I found those cars that I done with Frank's, and then just changed the pinion gear, and then just kind of UV glue the motor to the chassis, and then change the guide to a slot invasion, and some good Paul gauge tires, and you can still use the stock axle. It runs really well. That motor is a real good motor. It's nice, and you could really work the trigger, and it really flows nicely. You could try one of those motors.
Yeah, so the reason I went with this one, George, is it's plug and play. So there's no soldering. You just put it in, plug it in, and play. And that's the reason why I went with this motor, because I'm thinking like a pure beginner, right? Beginners, many of us, we're kind of afraid of the soldering and all that. And this is a quick way to get a standardized motor into your Carrera that, is a good motor, runs really well. And that's why I'm starting with these 3 motors into all 3 RSRs. So that way I have some sort of standardization at the motor level, because that's the only thing that is a variation that I can't really, I can't tune for.
That's simple swaps, what you're saying. Gotcha. No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
See what you're getting.
Yeah, there's lots of good motors out there.
That motor.
Right? Yeah. Go ahead, Marty.
That motor is a great motor. It's a great motor for a Carrera car. It's a big jump in performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like it. But George is right. That 22.5, the green end bell, that thing is smooth. That's a fantastic motor.
Yeah, for sure. And I will try other motors. This is my first like this is the first dive in with so my thing is I'm gonna pick one car and dive all the way in, right? So
You're
on the
keeping
first
it.
on the first car, I got the Paul gauge tires and this motor. The second car will have a new rear drive shaft, so 2.38 millimeter from Slot Invasion, going through a high precision bushing that I got from MPslotcar. And we'll use the standard crown gear and I guess the and mount it into the car and run that with Paul gauge rear tires as well. That will be the second car. The third car is a full Slot Invasion rear end swap. So that will have the ball bearings. It will have their full kit. So and their tires running on it. And we'll compare the cars and see what they do. Right. I'm very curious to see if the ball bearings are out. Like, what's the difference between the ball bearings and bushings? Right. That's my curiosity as well. From in my opinion, like bearings, you introduce more mechanical friction in bearings, and I guess you do the same in bushings, but bearings have a little bit more. To me, there's a little bit more mechanical loss, and I don't know if it's even significant at the slot car level, but it's interesting for me to actually think about it and find out. And that's why I'm doing it. But it's interesting to hear from you guys because that's my plan. But if you guys have any suggestions, like let me know.
Well, the bearings are good. The bearings offer less resistance because you're rolling instead of bushing where it's on, against a piece of material. Whereas bearings, like on a car, tapered roller bearings, it's less resistance is what it is. So it'll be a little bit better than a bushing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but I mean that's what you're doing. You're just experimenting, which is great.
Yeah, but that's also interesting because a high precision bushing with a high precision drive shaft would have very little resistance as well, right? Like, is there going to be that much difference between the bearing and the bushing? That's where I'm going with this. I just wanted to find out for myself. So that was my way of testing it. And I did get, Ernie was kind enough to give me a set of high precision bushings that Ernie had made. So, and he's got a really cool thing where you can put the oil in the channel and then fit them onto the, through the shaft, and then they have continuous lubrication. So, yeah. So yeah, that's my first dive into tuning, guys, and that's what I'm planning to do over the next couple of weeks. I'm just waiting on the last car to arrive, and then I'll start that whole process. Yeah.
I look forward to that. That'll be interesting. Check it out.
Yeah. And it's really cool because I was talking to Harry because with the bushings that that Ernie gave me, I do have to mill out a little bit of the plastic so that I don't stress fracture when I press in the bushings. So Harry already helped me out by sending me a link to the video. Yeah, so he's been really cool.
The video he sent you, that Carrera video, applies to all of the Carrera cars, all the tuning ones on the NASCARs, you guys. That's to every Carrera car. It's the same thing because they use the inline motor. And then what you're going to need is a tool to align the bushings if you're going to use a pin aligning tool. What stock cars, sells, unless you use something that's called like a Victor bushing, which is a self-steering conical bushing. So I mean, you could go that route too. It's just be careful you don't get super glue inside of it. That's what he says in there, in the video and stuff. But yeah, that'd be cool to watch what you're going to do, man. That's real interesting.
Yeah. So I think like when I'm not a mechanic, right, George? But I did modify my own cars, and I did own my own performance shop. I did have mechanics that worked there, but what I learned was by taking apart things. So I learned by ripping cars apart and then putting them back together again. That's how I learned. So the same thing with slot cars. I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to rip them down to the bare bones and put them back together. The Carrera chassis is a lot simpler than anything else, so that's where I'm starting. And it's also something I really enjoy because I like racing my Carrera cars. So I'll tear them down and then rebuild them. And I start with the car that I love the most, which is the Porsche 911 RSR. So that's going to be fun for me. Can't have enough Porsches in my garage. That's all I know. So, gives me an excuse to buy more. I'll do it. Yeah. Yeah, bearings need to be kept clean, and to get the wear time you need from the bushing. Okay, cool. Yeah. Anyway, so that was it. Anything else we want to add tonight? Did we cover our topic? I think we did. Everything is fine. And moving forward, we will be doing all slot car related content moving forward. So there'll be no more of this shenanigans. But I will do camera videos. So I know that's something that I will also do as a lot. Like I know the ZV-1, George, I'm going to bring a tutorial out on that. Because you asked me what my settings were. And I'm like, how do I explain this to George? I'm like, I have to show him, right? It's the easiest way for me.
Some of the videos that I saw on them, like, and this is one thing I was talking about when we try and do videos, is that they don't get to the damn point, and you have to sit there and listen to like 10 minutes of like, I don't know, shit that they repeat over again. And it's like, what the hell, man? That's why when you make content, I try not to do that, because I don't want to bore the hell out of people with me just jabbering on, So I try to make sure I get to the point. But on some of those ones, it was hard to. Some of the guys were not just getting to the point. I'm like, but I kind of figured it out, because I did do it at a slower setting when I did that fast one I sent to you on an email. So I got to go to, I guess, 960. So I was like, I'll do it another day. So I'll experiment more and more. I just have to get to know the camera, because I'm still a little bit struggling with it, but I'm getting the hang of it. It's just all trial and error. So
yeah, so I'm gonna do 2 videos. I'm gonna do a deep dive in the ZV-1, because not only you have one, but MP also has one. So I'll do a deep dive in that one, and I'll show how I shoot 1,000 frames per second on that camera. And then I'll do another deep dive on the new Hero 11 Mini, because I'm going to try and mount that. So I was talking to you about that before we started, how to mount that camera onto a slot car. So I have to go with a steel chassis because that camera is heavy. And I need to I'm trying to mount a boom arm on the car so I can actually swivel that camera around when it's like I want to be able to turn the camera like I have right now. I use a small Insta360. I can turn the camera around, so I can do one where I can follow a car side by side, and I can flip it around and have a rear view, flip around, have a front view. I have that camera car already set up, but I'm trying to do it with this camera, because this camera can shoot 240 frames per second, so I can actually slow down FPV footage. So I'm trying to do that, but I have to find out how to mount this car. So I have to go with a steel chassis for it. It gets a heavy base down. So yeah, working on that. Yeah, those are my plans. I definitely died and made. Okay. I don't know what this is, but. Roll, what voltage you run your cars? Okay, so everyone asked me this. I run at 124 voltage, so I run 18 volts on my track all times. I don't care. I know everyone's like, that's too hot, but I love hot cars. So I run my car at always number 10 on the digital controller and 18 volts. I don't care. That's how I run. Every car you see running on my track is running at that rate. And I don't vary my voltage. I just keep it. I do have a variable power supply, but it's cranked all the way to 18, and that's how I run it. Yeah. I like fast cars.
You see the whole of Vancouver go right down to like, Christmas vacation, trying the emergency.
You watch all the smoke rolling out of the back of the car.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, 18 volts not bad. Come on, guys. The Carrera digital controller can take it.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
They can.
Well, yeah, it's the 124 volt power supply. I've always run a 124 power supply, and I run my 132nd cars on that all the time. And if they blow up, that's okay. I just put a new motor in them. That's fine. Hey, that's how I ran my cars when I tuned them. Okay, what do you want?
You ran them lean or you ran them rich?
I ran them rich, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you get it to the point when you're tuning it to where it just coughs, and then you just back it out a little, and that's how mine is set. But
oh
man, I
man.
love that smell when somebody's sitting behind me and smells all that raw fuel. This asshole needs to get this thing swabbed, you know?
So when I tuned my Hellcat, my Hellcat was the fastest Hellcat in Canada, right? It was 1200 horsepower at the 1200 at the crank. It we dynoed at 960 to the rear wheel, and that was like fun. But that thing, you could smell the sweetness of the fuel. You know, when you start it up, you just smell the fuel. You're like, yeah, this is it.
You get all the O2s turned off, no cats. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. There's
yeah.
how
Well,
much it is.
I had long tubes.
Nothing. Screw the emission stuff. I
No,
don't drive a car,
I had
you
long
know.
tubes, and I had
Long tubes.
it was a complete, like, it was a catless exhaust, but with a button that made it straight pipe, right? So that
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
I'd set like when we were going to meet and people would rev their cars, you know, like when we're lining up to do the dyno pulls, and there was be like guys revving their cars, and when I rev my car, everyone just kept quiet. And when I went to SEMA, that car was at SEMA, and when I exited SEMA, you know, when they do that run when you leave SEMA, my car was the loudest car that year at SEMA, bar none. I remember when I started it, when the car arrived on the truck, and they started it in the truck, and everyone, there was Lamborghinis coming off the other trailers and everything. Everyone turned around to look at the car when it started up the Hellcat. It was so loud. I'll never forget that look. That was fun. I ripped that in Vegas. It was a lot of fun ripping that car
We
in
used to
Vegas.
do what they called the goat run. The goat run was, I think they started that in 2008, and they used to go from come to Las Vegas and meet up there, and they would meet at the I'm trying to remember the name of the hotel. Would be up on the top deck there, the parking lot. I can't remember. It's been so long. I went to it like 6 years consecutively, and they had like exhaust competitions and best show, best interior, and all that. And there were some guys that really put a lot of hard work into their cars. I did a lot of hard work into mine, and so did my cohort, who he's got a really nice car. His car is just absolutely beautiful, and he still has it. And it's funny because I post, you guys have probably seen it. I post, some stuff of back in the day when I was in the club, and it goes back as 13 years ago, and it's hard to believe that I've had the car a long time, like going on 18 years. So you look back at that and all the crap you did to it and the money you spent and all the time you put in it. So a lot of people put a lot of heart, into fixing their cars up, along with all the stuff we do. You put your heart into all that too, making scenery, tuning cars and painting cars and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to see the end results of everything when you're done with it.
Yeah, no, that when I did my Hellcat, there was only one other Hellcat in America that had been tuned higher than mine, and we were talking to them continuously because they are the only ones that had the long tubes put on the Hellcat. Because we were blind, the car hadn't been tuned; it was come out as factory. We were only the second people tuning the car, and there was only one tuner that we knew that knew how to tune the Hellcat. We knew how to put on all the bolt-ons, right? We bolted on like the thermostat. We had to put on the pulleys, the different pulleys, get the new belts. We did all that. I put a carbon fiber drive shaft in. We had everything done, and then I had to drive overnight to Pittsburgh to get it tuned. So I drove through the night to Pittsburgh, spent the day, got it tuned, and then brought it back home. But that was fun. Bringing it back home was fun after it was tuned.
Yeah, because their untuned wasn't too great because it was running like
we had to.
Once you put a bolt-on modified, it's just like with the LS engine. You change stuff and you have to get it fixed. So how I tuned my own. So I think Dodge at the time, or Chrysler, they were more reserved about letting people touch their ECM.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong.
Still today.
Yeah, with GM, they didn't give a shit. So
Yeah.
I have actually some books, and it's how to tune your LS engine, and it was really easy to do it. And you need your air fill meter, and you just need to read the steps, and it's amazing what you could do by manipulating just by code with the car and then just reflashing it. And I did that to mine, and it was pretty easy once I got the cam in and everything and changed the heads and all that and changed the gears on it. I was able to just a couple of keystrokes compared to where I had another car that was a 383 stroker motor that I built on a station wagon, and you had to use, Holley carburetor, set your floats, all that. A lot different, than keystrokes.
Yeah,
so it's pretty amazing the technology, how it changed on that.
Yeah, digital tuning is crazy, but the same thing, right? Like same thing applies. I'm now back into RC, and the same thing applies. Like, you want to learn how to drive better, you need to tear the car down yourself, and you need to know how to put it back together. If you understand what you're doing to the car, it becomes easier for you to get the most out of the car, right? And the thing is, we'll always say you learn more when things break, right? So yeah, and that's the general thing. It's like you drive it till it break it and then fix it, and you'll learn more about it, right?
That is drag racing. Let's go out today and see what we could break.
Yeah.
That's basically what you do in drag racing. I had a friend who had a Challenger, and on the back of it, I have a photo where it says, "My wallet goes faster than my car." That's a true statement, because you spend a lot of money when you go to the drag strip to break stuff. Well, okay, didn't mean to get off topic with that, but
there we go. Cars.
Yeah.
Gotta love cars. Anyway, so Boone, thanks for joining us, man. And thanks for showing off your collection. And thank you for all the late night calls that we have on terrain and everything else, and bearing with me. But yeah, thank you so much, Marty, George. As always, thanks a lot. Everyone in the chat, you guys, where did I get the Shell 917? I got it from Great Traditions from the States. So if you're looking for it,
though, right? Not
132nd. I got 132nd.
That's the yellow shell.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was great. And Marty, you're on live stream tomorrow?
I'm on live stream tomorrow. Kevin is coming on.
Nice.
So from Racetrack Scenics, he wants to talk about his new elevated track system. So yeah, should be fun.
That would be cool. Yeah. So tune. Sorry, George.
Did he ask you guys? Because he had talked to me, and I said I don't care. So if you guys want to order signs like the 2 lines one or whatever, I don't think Kevin will have a problem doing that. Because I gave him mine, the emblems that you made, Raul, to copy them to make a sign, and you were okay with that. So if anybody wants to get an Area 51 sign, I don't care. It's just that it's all in Kevin's hands. I didn't, if you want to get one, because I think Chris got one. So, and then he had texted me and told me, "Hey, is it okay?" I go, "I don't have no trademark on that. Just go ahead and just make it for them. I don't care." So, we're always the one.
It's actually on the store now.
Is it? Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
cool.
you can go buy
your
an
guys
Area
is on there too, because I want to get a Conquest one and the other ones and start putting them on the track. So,
yeah, I think all of us.
I got a Boone coming.
Yeah. What did you say, Boone?
For a while.
We all have some.
Cool. See, that'll work nice.
Yeah, that's cool. I wish I could order the Racetrack Scenics. I do. I really do, but I can't. So we won't talk about that. We will catch you guys next time at Monday and Sunday. If you like Hobby Time with me and Sulk, join us as we continue to paint and create more havoc for our terrain track. Other than that, thank you very much for joining us, and we will catch you later. Yeah, Eve's bought one of your t-shirts, Boone. Yeah, he's wearing it proudly. The GT40 shirt will drop tomorrow. Yeah, there you go. I got the legendary Ken Miles shirt. Yeah. I like doing those shirts, by the way, guys. So if you guys got any ideas for shirts you want, I guess maybe the Can-Am cars next. I don't know. I did a Shadow.
No, I'm just kidding.
So these are the rules. If you want a legendary car to be drawn up, because these are actually hand drawn, I do have an artist that actually draws out the cars. So I actually take photographs of every stock car that I want and then send it off to an artist, and he draws the cars that I put on the shirt. So none of those are. I used to draw them. The first 4, I drew them myself, and then I was like, this is too much time, so I sent them out. Now I got an artist doing it. So these are legit shirts. They are custom art. So if you have a car that you want, let me know and I'll get it done. But to qualify as a legendary car, it must have raced in a proper series and must have done something really cool and special. Not won, but done something cool, like maybe floating off the track, crashed in the river. Those are cool things. Like I'm gonna do a Colin McRae one because that guy was nuts. Yeah. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch you guys later, and have fun on rails, guys. Bye.
See ya.
See ya.